Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Anderson and I'll be your instructor for Healthcare Settings Analysis. I know this is not the first college course of any of you. It's a higher level course, so I know that you've taken other college courses, and many of you perhaps have received your associate's degree through Kaiser and are pursuing your bachelor's. So I will make a quick overview of the course, but I wanted to say welcome, and right off the bat I want you to know that I welcome emails anytime. I prefer email as our source of communication. And because, like you, I carry my phone with me, so I download the Outlook app to my phone, so I know when there is an email that is work-related, and I try to get back to you as quickly as possible. So here you are in the Meet Your Instructor link. Be sure to read all announcements, by the way. There are several announcements already posted. And then once the course is active, anytime I post an announcement, we'll also send an email to your Kaiser email account. So be sure to check that as I try to keep you updated with announcements, so it's important to keep updated. Be sure to read the syllabus. It is like a contract between the instructor and the student on what's expected out of the course, and so be sure you familiarize yourself with that. The Kaiser Live sessions, I can't really overstate how important the Kaiser Live sessions are, at least in my courses. And especially in this course. This is a high-level course, and the content in your textbook is pretty high level. And so in the Kaiser Live sessions, will go through the expectations for every week so that you make sure that you know what is expected. And I also review a lot of the concepts that are in your assigned chapters, so that will become familiar to you. By the time you read your chapters, you will have heard some of the concepts before. It'll help you understand them and help you remember them. I do the Kaiser Live sessions typically on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason I do that is I want to do it at the beginning of the week because I feel like it's the first thing that you'll want to do in your week is either join, if possible. I hope you can join, or watch the recording of the Kaiser Live session because it'll help you understand your week and help you plan your time wisely. You can see that I've already identified and set up the sessions for each week. So I think you probably already know that, but for each week, once it's in progress, you'll just go over and click on here and then click Join Session. I will also send you an announcement every Monday morning reminding you of the Kaiser Live session, and in the announcement I will post a guest link. So for your convenience, you might want to join on your phone or on your tablet or whatever through the guest link. So the Getting Started link is important to review. The course overview, the course objectives, here's our course textbook, and then you should have also received a LearnScape access code because LearnScapes are included in this course. I'm sure many of you have already had LearnScapes in some of your other courses. I find them to be, having worked in healthcare administration for a long time, and I find the LearnScapes really high level. Realistic and really good experience that you should be able to draw on to enhance your resume and to discuss in any future interviews that you have. Because you're working as a consultant, it's high-level work. Here's the course resources, the discussion board rubric. You want to pay attention to that. And you want to make sure that you check out, if you're not familiar with LearnScapes, be sure you check out this required LearnScape scenarios. It walks you through how to redeem your access code, and a lot of information that'll be helpful to you regarding the LearnScapes. Be sure you submit your certification. It basically certifies that the work that you're submitting is yours. I actually don't feel like I can grade anyone's work until the certification is submitted, so do that right away. And then the other thing in week 1, before you get started, is submit your pre-test. So just as you know, the pre-test is used as a benchmark. It doesn't actually give you a grade that is part of your course grade. It's just your pre-test and post-test is the same test. And then when you're completed the course at the end, when you do the post-test, that's actually worth 5% of your grade. So I think you're familiar with discussions because I know you've had courses before, but every week there will be a discussion, and then in my live chat I will go over the details of what I expect out of your discussion of that week. As I said, this course is pretty high level, the concepts are pretty high level, and so the discussion expectations are pretty high level. They will ask questions and they'll want you to incorporate the reading that you've done in your chapters and demonstrate that you understand the concepts as you respond to questions in the discussions. And as you know, and I will talk about this again in the week 1 Kaiser Live, I'll actually give examples, but very important to submit a substantive post, initial post, and then for full credit, you need to post 2 response posts 3 separate days, and then your initial post and a minimum of one of your response posts requires a citation, a full citation in APA format. And you also want to make sure that you include in-text citation within the body of your post. You know, after each sentence or a couple sentences or paragraph or whatever information pertains to one of your sources, in parentheses, you'll put the author and the year, because the reader, as they read your post, should always be able to determine for each bit of information, what source did it come from? Because some of the information might even come from your own experience, and the reader should be able to determine exactly what information came from a source, if so, what source, because you might have more than one at the bottom, and what information came from your own knowledge. So I'll review that again in the week 1 Kaiser Live. And then let me just make a comment about response posts. Response posts need to stand on their own. It cannot just be a paraphrase of what you have already stated. So your response post needs to add to our information. It can go off into a lot of different connected paths of information, but it should be an opportunity for us all to benefit from our research and information. And then in week 1, I'll just go over a few of these because there is LearnScape. So here's the week 1 detail. You're going to read chapters 1 and 2. You've got a discussion board that's pretty substantive. And then in week 1 and in week 2, you have LearnScapes. So you want to make sure you redeem your access code early. You want to make sure that you try a LearnScape before the end of the week, just in case your computer needs some sort of updating in order to run the LearnScape. The information of the tech support information for the LearnScapes is in that Getting Started link that we just walked through. And they're very helpful in getting students started to run the LearnScape. Sometimes your computer just needs to download the latest version of something in order to run the LearnScape. So be sure you test it out early in the week so that you don't have a problem if you're not doing the LearnScape until the last minute. Now your LearnScapes, because they are substantive and they draw the report that you're going to write after you go through the LearnScape, draws on a lot of the information that you're going to be reading about in your chapters, is that you are encouraged to begin working and to watch the LearnScape in week 1, think about it, look over the questions, but that both LearnScape reports are actually not going to be due until the week 3. But it's substantive work. You're not going to want to wait till week 3 because there's also work in week 3. And so it'll give you an idea to read the chapters, watch the LearnScape a couple times, review the questions, and watch my live chat so that you can make sure that you submit a substantive report that you'll be happy with. Week 2 as well, same kind of thing. That you've got LearnScape, you've got the discussion and a LearnScape again, that you'll be using some of the concepts that you're going to be reading about in week 2 and integrate them into your report. And again, that is not due until the end of week 3. And then obviously in week 2, you're going to have a midterm exam. And week 3, you've got a discussion, which is actually interesting, and you've got a week 3 quiz. But that you're going to be able to have multiple options to submit that quiz, and so then your highest score is going to count. So that should not be that should be obviously available to you because you'll have time to research the questions and submit more than one attempt if you need to. And then week 4, you're going to have a discussion, your final exam, post-test. So week 3 is really the biggie because you've got a discussion, you've got a quiz, and you've got both LearnScape reports due. So welcome again. I'm excited to work with you in this course. And again, I've had a lot of experience in the field, so the concepts in this course are very familiar to me, and I look forward to help making them familiar to you. So again, email me with any questions. I hope you can join the Kaiser Lives on Monday evenings, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll see you next week.